Hello viewers, welcome back to this channel. Today we will look at another chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and understand the messages it imparts us. My name is Ritesh Raj, so let's begin. Let's look at the next chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is about Bhakti Yoga and why this Bhakti Yoga is superior as compared to some of the other paths. One interesting thing I find about Bhagavad Gita is that while it is prescriptive to an extent, it tries to make your life easier. It wants to give you different options so that you can follow the path of devotion. And this chapter is a great example of that. Now, anyone can develop pure love for Krishna through Bhakti Yoga. The highest and quickest way of devotion to Krishna. Those who follow the path of Bhakti Yoga develops divine qualities. It says, Arjun requested Krishna to clarify his doubt about the path to take to attain the Supreme Lord. He asks, who is better? One who is completely devoted to your devotional service, or one who worships the impersonal Brahman. So there is a talk about the direct way and the indirect way, the personal or the impersonal way. Krishna explains, worshipping my personal form is the best way. One who fixes their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with eternal faith, I consider him or her as the most perfect. However, Krishna then further clarifies that this is one of the many ways though. Someone who fully worships the unmanifested, i.e. who doesn't directly worships me, and also which is the impersonal, the Brahma Jyoti, also ultimately achieves me. But that worship should have the following qualities, which are, they should be able to control their senses, be equally disposed to everyone, and the third thing is engage in welfare for all. Krishna cautions Arjun about following the impersonal path though. Attaching one's mind to something that is impersonal, unmanifested is difficult, and advancement toward achieving me is very troublesome if you follow the impersonal route. I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death for those who, and then he gives the qualities, who worships me, number one. Number two, gives up all their activities unto me. Number three, devoted to me without deviation. Number four, are engaged in devotional service. And number five, are always meditating upon me. He says that one can either fix his mind completely on me or take the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Now, the regulative principles provides guidance to those who believe in the impersonal form to reach me. If even the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga cannot be followed or is difficult, then there is a third option. And that third option is to work for me. And working for me will take you to the perfect stage. And if you cannot work for me either, then there is another option, and that is to give up all the fruitive results of your work and try to be self-suited. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, Shlok 46, it says that we find, it says, Yatah pravattir bhutanam, which means if one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, even if he does not know that the supreme cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the supreme cause by the sacrificial method. So it evolves, and whatever path you follow, you will ultimately realize that things that are happening around you is because of Krishna. If you cannot follow this practice either, there is another option, which is to engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Even better than knowledge, though, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Krishna in the next few shlokas clarifies about what kind of person is dear to him. He says, one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, is equal in both happiness and distress, is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, he by whom no one is put into difficulty, who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety. And then he further goes on to say, mention the qualities of his devotees, who is dear to him, who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, someone who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and also not striving for some result. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, one who neither laments nor desires, one who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, one who is equal to friends and enemies, one who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, one who is always free from contaminated associations, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service. And in this chapter, there is also a mention of the different ways to attain the Lord. We mentioned it briefly, but the two ways are the impersonal route and the personal route. By impersonal route, we mean that someone who believes in the energy of Brahma Jyoti, one who does meditation on impersonal Brahman. And on the other side, the personal route is the route where you completely believe in Krishna and you are completely devoted to Krishna. And then further down in the impersonal route, you have three different ways to follow. One is to follow the regulative principles. The second one was working for Krishna himself, and third one was to giving up the results of all your fruitive actions. Now let's look at the summary and the moral of the chapter. The first one was to respect others' feelings, ideas and thoughts. You can differ with others, but do not hurt their feelings or dishonor their thoughts. Be honest toward work. If you are focused on a goal, you must concentrate on that. Fixing one's mind to your objectives is critical for progress. Stay always away from false ego. It's good to have ego, it's good to have some ego, but it's the false ego that we have been prescribed to be careful of. Take both defeat and victory in equal stride. Happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, treat them equally. Avoid associations and friendships that deviates you from your righteous path. And finally, as I said in chapter 10 as well, have faith in Krishna. He's always helping you in his own ways despite your situation. With this, I would like to end chapter 12, and I would see you in the next chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, ciao, ciao for now.